Considered one of the better line-out men in Europe, so it'll be interesting to see if he gets any ball today in the game. Let's have a look at the referees. Kerry Fitzgerald of Australia, who refereed the World Cup final in '87, and with him to the left Derek Bevan of Wales and Kingsley Went of Zimbabwe. To the right will be the third official today, lining up for the two national anthems. Great moment for rugby at Welford Road. There hasn't been a full international here since 1923. So the next formality before the playing of this game today, the New Zealand Maori Challenge, the haka, led again by Steve McDowell. There's another look at the New Zealand team for the lineup today with little Jason Hewitt from Auckland. There are 12 Aucklanders in this team, plus Walter Little from across the Harbour Bridge in Auckland City. So New Zealand's biggest city really dominating here. There's the Italian team. They bring speed back with Bakari, the former winger, going back to fullback. Kutita and his twin brother are there, number 11 and number 1. And a new cap in Botticciari, Alessandro Botticciari, 35 years of age. He's waited a long time to play his first test, and that's him there, number 6, with the bald head. And here's today's referee, Kerry Fitzgerald. He's refereed the New Zealand team a number of times before. This may be, in fact, the first time he's refereed the Italians. Grant Fox begins this Pool 1 Rugby World Cup match, the final appearance in the pool play for Italy and New Zealand, on a beautiful grassed pitch at Welford Road in Leicester. And Inga Tuigamala gives it to the new man for the All Blacks, Jason Hewitt, straight to Walter Little. There was an in-pass on its way which was deflected, carried on by the New Zealand fullback Terry Wright, and indications are that New Zealand may want to play this game at high speed. As we look in at the first scrum, Inga Tuigamala down in the foreground was looking pretty fired up at haka time, and in that first play, the first scrum is down. So Mark Carter, you see on the open side, number 7 for New Zealand, just his second test. He's just 21 years of age, and you see number 6 against him. That's Alessandro Bottacciari from the L'Aquila club. Francescato, that scrum is going backwards, and Ivan Francescato delayed the put in, a free kick for New Zealand. There's a high sense of urgency from the New Zealand team. Hewitt with the ball. Referee Fitzgerald insisting on the 10 yards, or the 10 metres it is, of course, for the Italian defenders. It's a tap kick, or it's coming. Hewitt. Zinzanbrook. Untouched. First try after 1 minute and 27 seconds. Zinzanbrook is in. New Zealand 4, Italy 0. A minute and a half gone in the game, and we may just have to look at the replay to see whether Zinzanbrook actually was touched. It was a tap kick, I suppose. In another type of test match, they might have had a shot at goal from here. Let's have a look and see. Zinzanbrook is behind the 4 players. The Red Sea's part. Through he goes. Nobody touched him. Nobody clipped his heels. Zinzanbrook is in under the posts for his 4th test try. There's the conversion from Grant Fox. New Zealand away to a cracking start by 6-0 against Italy.
Well, yes, the Italians came up far too fast then, and they left no depth at all in terms of their cover, and they didn't stay behind the wall. Normally, seeing it's played often in New Zealand, look how flat and fast they come up, and the hole's a mile wide there. Well done, Zinzanbrook.
They really just waved him goodbye as Zinzanbrook heads around, plonks it down behind the posts. It's a 6-point start for New Zealand here at Welford Road in Leicester.
Well, they've started well, Keith. Let's hope that they use their backs and, as you say, keep that pace firing right throughout the game.
Massimo Bonomi has kicked down to the 22. Wayne Shelford, the former All Black captain's with us. Wayne, that's a cracking start.
Brilliant start. Just the start they wanted. They took the kick. They won the ball off the kick and started hitting straight into territory, deep into the Italian side. But you know, a great try, brilliant try. You couldn't ask for a better start from an All Black side, and they'll come back from here and just put a lot more pressure on them from now.
Here's Grant Fox to kick out. Good high ball. Gary Wetton, number 5, gets up to compete. Big day for him today. Number 14 is Edgardo Venturi.
Fitzgerald played good advantage there. Let it go as long as he possibly could to try and give Italy the advantage after knock-on by Wetton.
Now, Francescato had a problem with the previous scrum. It was going backwards. The referee was telling him to get it in, put it in, but he didn't. He delayed too long, and the free kick went against Italy. Yes. From there, the try came.
Yes, he gave them 3 warnings too.
Just a reminder that we are listening to Kerry Fitzgerald at this Rugby World Cup. Nobody else but the TV commentators are listening to him. Sorry, radio commentators listening as well. There's the Italian heel away to Francescato. He's probably the danger man of the Italian team. Terry Wright waits. Fumble! Inga Tuigamala breaks out. Rolled the pass in field. Coming now for Fox. He's tipped over. Dominguez. Oh, that might be a penalty try. Referee has signaled play on. There was Diego Dominguez, the little inside centre, the second 5, was taken out of the play. And Marcello Cotita on the left wing skidded through and hit his head on the advertising sign. What was that advertising? Famous Grouse Scotch Whisky.
No, I think it was British Steel.
British Steel, was it? Okay. Look at Dominguez here. Carter dives at the ball, clips his heels, and then the skid by Cotita. Now Famous Grouse. He hit the Famous Grouse sign. That's the best publicity they've ever had.
Well, both does the same sort of damage, I should say, to the neurons.
Yeah, 1 million brain cells a day, don't they say? Shouldn't really say that. Inga Tuigamala, he's been in the game a lot. is Inga, just his second test cap on the left by. Gee, put in a ferocious haka on the edge of the semicircle.
Yes, he looks as if he's ready to play a big one today, and that's good because he's been a long time coming back, and he looks as if he's almost back to his best, and he's a grand player at his best.
Tapped down by Favreau. Now, he is a very good line-out man at the front, Roberto Favreau. He'll be a bit of a handful for Gary Wetton. Out to Bonomi. That one hit Dominguez on the head. Halfway line. Now Kutita, Marcelo Kutita, a loose ball. Zinzan Brook. High pace. The game is being played out early on. Craig Innes trying to probe the midfield. There's going to be an advantage here for New Zealand. Yeah, there's an offside man there. Penalty for the All Blacks near halfway.
Yes, that's fair call.
New Zealanders at this present time are playing with a lot of urgency, which is good to see. They've shown more urgency in the first 5 minutes of this game than what they showed in the USA game.
Right.
And
true.
I think the penalty there was warranted. One of their Italian players come right over the top and didn't even come in from behind. He actually came in from the side.
It was good too, wasn't it? Because Fitzgerald said to him, hey, leave it alone, leave it alone. Again, he warned him 3 times, leave it, leave it. And he pointed to him. And in the end, when he didn't, he had to ping him.
Well, there they are, some of the Italian loose men. Number 1 there is Massimo Kutita. As we look up for Grant Fox now, he has 497 points in Test rugby. Now, what a super way this would be to bring up 500. But it's a long, long way out. And with this ball, I don't think I've seen Fox get very near from here.
No, and no one has. No one has kicked from that far out at any stage of this tournament.
Mind you, the conditions for kicking here today would be as good as they've been anywhere in the tournament. It's a still day, beautiful dry ball, excellent conditions. Grant Fox, and the time gone, 7 minutes. Going to be close. It's a goal! A superb kick by Fox. Who said he can't kick it from halfway? I think it was me. And he's landed it to make it 9-0, and for Grant Fox, that's 500 points in Test rugby, and he's only the 3rd man to pass that milestone. And what a lovely kick it was. He gave it a beautiful nudge, a lovely rhythmical swing through. It was high, dropped down just behind the crossbar. 500 points in Test rugby. He follows Michael Liner and Hugo Porter past that mark.
Well, that's the biggest kick of the tournament.
Italians kick deep. John Kerwin touching down. 9-0. Zinzan Brook the early try. Fox the conversion. Fox the penalty.
Yes, the only disappointing part of their previous games, particularly against England, is the way the backs are playing. They're not playing with any, I'd say, confidence at all. Not using enough options either. Chipping over the top to keep back a defending side and using the blind side more. They've got to.
Fox from Hewitt away up the touchline.
There's always that opportunity on those sort of moves there to look. The Italian fullback is a long way back. Let's look at using a little wee chip kick over the top of the backs and putting pressure on them.
Yes, and not giving it to the first 5-8 either way. And shooting it straight out, probably to ball a little chip over, because it comes a lot better from second 5-8.
High jump by Brook there. Hewitt away to Fox. He's putting in the kick across field. Bit of a wobbly one. And takes him across maybe 15 to 20 metres beyond the line-out situation on the near side. The cross kick from Grant Fox. Didn't quite hit it right. There he is, Fox. His 34th test today. And there's his stats. Just a little bloke. But a big man for New Zealand rugby in recent years. Giancarlo Pavetta, the captain today. That Favreau is very good at the front of the line-out. He's claimed another one there, Francescato. Penalty for Italy back at line-out time.
I think one of the players that will have a big one today in the All Black backline is Walter Little. He's been absolutely fizzing and couldn't wait to get out there. He's dying for a game, and he's got his chance now. He's got to go for it.
Walter Little, you'll see him. He's wearing number 12. For New Zealand today. He's from North Harbour as we watch Massimo Bonomi make the kick, and that's a good touch for The man who's been introduced to fly half today, there he is, Massimo Bonomi. They've shifted Diego Dominguez out one place to second 5/8 or inside centre.
Yes, you mentioned Croce before in this Italian lineup. I think Faforo has been in better form through this tournament than your man Croce, Keith, at 4.
Favaro's number 4 and number 5 is Croce. Favaro's been up the front all the way through.
Yes,
You're not getting confused, mate?
No, not at all.
He's been going well.
He beat USA almost on his own at line-out time.
Good jumpers, Croce and Favaro, so that'll be interesting to see how they fare up against New Zealand. Ian Jones, number 4, took that for the All Blacks. Hewitt. Had the second grab at that ball. Paolo Bakari. Paolo Bakari, the winger, turned fullback like New Zealand's own Terry Wright. Thumps it down and Terry Wright's there to meet it. Good pushback upfield by Wright. Hasn't found touch. Yes, he has. Thrown in by Gaetaniello. We're going to see a game all over the field if it continues like this. But that one was passed forward.
Yes, against England, Italy played it very, very tight. In fact, they were saying they were really perpetrated persistent fouling and stopping England scoring points. They went out to stop England scoring rather than trying to do them themselves. But at the rate they're running around here, either they're going to run out of steam or they're going to get a couple themselves too. But it's going to make for a break game.
One of the things you can see is there's urgency out there, and you know they've started well. They've got the pressure on. They haven't made any unforced errors. They've given away one penalty, but no unforced errors, and that's what it's about, keeping the error rate down. And I think the All Blacks will, use the blind side here. They've got a big blind. Jason Hewitt, quick ball from Zinzan Book down the blind, using Tuagamala on this blind. I think if we can use it correctly, we'll score another try.
This is Alessandro Bottichiari. Now, this is the guy that's played a lot of rugby with Mike Brewer at the Lucula Club. And how about that, Dale? 35 years of age before he makes his debut.
They mature late in Italy.
They do. There he is. Bottichiari. It's a beautiful face. This has been a great World Cup for bald-headed rugby players too. I'd like to raise that subject. There's a couple in the Italian pack. Gianni Zanon, their tour captain, is bald, but he's got a ponytail. There's a couple in the Welsh team, Collins and May.
Wayne Shelford says it sort of goes with the climate over here. He reckons there's something in the air that actually burns the hair off, whether it's that acid rain from so many of these industrial areas that they play in, or what it is. You've mentioned that before too. Yeah,
well, the actual captain, Zanon, who actually plays for Treviso, he was playing there when I went down to do a bit of a coaching stint there a couple of years ago, and he couldn't even make the Treviso A team back then, and so he's really come on in the last couple of years.
That's a couple of years.
So everybody is set. The injured player is the Giancarlo Pavetta, the guy with the yellow headband there. Now, will they run the blind side? Game resumes, 13 minutes gone, 9-0. They went the open side, Zinzanbrook. That's good hard yards he's made there. Hewitt, now they're coming to blind. Walter Little, not much room to move in there.
Ball come back a little bit slow on that scrum there. That's why the move didn't really work that well.
But at least they ran the dummy and went the other way. I mean, that's innovative for a start.
Here they go again. New Zealand on attack. Hewitt just lost rhythm again there. The tackler is number 7, Massimo Giovanelli.
Well, they didn't give the scrum enough shove. They were running through the move in their own minds, ready to race off the flanks, rather than give those tight five just the extra shove to get the scrum going forward.
Third consecutive scrum for New Zealand put in. Inga Tuigamala, first cab off the rank, straight into the tackler, who was the new man, Bottichiari. Fox ducks in and has a run. Walter Little, that was a penalty there. The Italians were up offside. They were up offside. Zinzan Brooks rushed to the mark as though he wants to take a little tap. But Fox is going to have a shot at goal. Well, Wayne Shelford, are you happy with the rhythm that the New Zealanders are getting? They're not really into it yet.
Well, just in a couple of areas around the scrum, I think the ball is coming a little bit slow through the hook, through the channel, and it's hitting feet. And if the ball comes through without touching anybody, Zinny can basically just sit there at the back and wait for the ball and pick and pass at the same time. And it just so happens it's coming off the legs, and it's slowing down the rhythm there.
Yes, it's just not going that 1 yard further forward, is it? It's that we shunt.
Fox kicks the goal from the penalty right out in front. It's 12 points to 0.
Well, the backs are looking enterprising, and they're changing their lines of attack too, meaning they're going blind and open, and at least trying to set their wingers away. And if you've got a guy like Wright with that tremendous amount of pace at the back, surely to goodness they're going to bring him up on the blind soon too, and just have straight balls out to Kerwin with right outside, and the same to Tuigamala with right outside. Great way to penetrate when they're coming up flat like this.
Massimo Bonomi kicks it low, deep to Fox, looking into the sun back in that corner. And lovely kick by Fox. That might be his best touch finder of the World Cup.
Well, there's the best touch finder, and he's done his best kick of the World Cup today, or of anyone's kick.
16 minutes gone, 12 to 0. The All Blacks perhaps on target to run up a good score here today. They don't seem as though they're under any pressure as yet from the Italian team. Line-out time's been good. Croce went high, trying to be tidied up by Kuti to the prop. Zinzan Brook ruled to be too quick out of there. Penalty for Italy.
One of the areas where I possibly see that the New Zealanders could dominate, and that would be by using the blind side. If they hit more down to the blind side, they've got a bigger open, and then that means our backs got more space to move.
Well, Earl Curtin, you'd be in agreement with that. You love that blind side, don't you?
Oh, it's the only place to go, particularly when things get tight midfield.
Well, why the heck don't they play with blind side then?
Because you get so many first 5/8 that won't run onto the ball.
Fitzpatrick takes a quick one. Controlled by New Zealand. Bayon, says referee. It's on the Italian side. Francescato, Bonomi, charged down by Carter. A bouncing ball claimed by Venturi, number 14, near halfway. Bottichiari, Dominguez, Francescato. The tackler on him was Innes. Terry Wright, quite keen to get to the touchline. Terry Wright was in doubt for playing this match because of a heavy knock he took on the rib cage at the previous game. There's Roberto Favaro, who's very good at the front of the line-out. They've made a bit of a mess of the collar of his shirt, but the ball didn't go to him anyway.
It's a good move by Fitzgerald before too. That scrum actually collapsed, and rather than resetting them so as we have about 60 scrums in the game, he let the Italians take the ball out. Good call, Fitzgerald.
Number 8 is Cecchinato to Francescato. They're having make Terry Wright think about his bruised ribs, and they were ahead of the tackle there. Ahead of the kick.
Well taken, Terry Wright.
This is probably an area in the Italian game where and the Argentinians, I'd say, that they're disciplined on just being in front of the kickers all the time. You know, they're just offside, and they do get picked up an awful lot in this rule.
Scrum for New Zealand, 10-metre mark. Fox. Al-Bakari is waiting. Paulo Bakari. Beat 2 tacklers. The third man got him. Players tumbling over the top. Alan Wetton is the player penalised. Bonomi, it's in touch there, according to the touch judge Derek Bevan from Wales.
He's a big, strong lad, that Bonomi.
One thing about the Italians, at least they're trying things. What ball they're getting, they're trying to use and have a go.
Oh, they're being positive. That's good, isn't it?
Quick look there at Croce, who's jumping in the middle against Ian Jones. Sean Fitzpatrick here to throw. So Croce, Giambattista Croce, has been penalised.
He's chatting back a wee bit to Mr. Fitzgerald. He says, let me ref, lads, let me ref.
Well, he's a pretty good referee, Kerry Fitzgerald.
Well, he's been fine up to now. That's the best performance I've seen by a referee, and you can see both sides are approaching it in a manner that they want to actually entertain the crowd for a change. That's good. amount of money and sponsorship these days, you've got to entertain. It's not only for players.
Pavetta throws. That's against Ian Jones. Came right through the line there. There they are trying things, the Italians. Kutita up to halfway with the New Zealand team back 10 metres. I suppose they were. Referee says they were, but now it's lost forward.
Oh, there was hard luck in the Italians. They set that up really well. And they were going to run it again, as you noticed.
At the end of the first quarter, New Zealand at 12 and Italy 0.
New Zealand are putting an awful lot of pressure on the scrum, but if they don't watch it, they're going to get penalised for pushing over the mark before the ball comes in.
It's in the Italians' head again.
The prop on the near side for the Italian team in the white headgear. Franco Properzi-Curti. Hewitt. Fox got caught by Francescato. Paolo Baccari. Terry Wright is right up there. Kutita and Kerwin. Kutita, one of the two veterans of the Italian team that played that game at New Zealand in 1987. Fabio Gaetaniello and Marcello Kutita.
Yes, he's telling him to come in straight, which is something that hasn't been happening at scrum time. Props, they've been boring in and often folding in too. Happened a lot in the Scotland-Ireland game. And the boring is quite bad over here, which supposedly is illegal.
Pavetta, Kutita, Francescato, Bonomi. Again, the test for Terry Wright. Good catch by Gaetaniello, but it might have gone forward. Yes, there's the referee's signal for advantage.
Yes, and they won the ruck again. It was a good kick though, wasn't it?
Well, the All Blacks made that high-pace start, Wayne Shelford. What do you think about the last 10 minutes?
Well, the last 10 minutes, they're still in there, but they just haven't won the quick quality ball they had in the first 10 minutes, and they've got to, get back into winning good, clean possession and giving Jason a platform.
Brooke. Right. Is that right? That's Ennis. Again, Alan Wetton penalised again. It was Terry Wright who was up there, and back he goes. So he's keen to get up and involved, but it's a penalty for Italy here, and this will be interesting because Diego Dominguez has been brought forward. There's the distance for this, the first shot at goal today for Diego Dominguez. He's the little former Argentina player, the former Puma player. He actually toured to New Zealand in 1989, and Dominguez hasn't missed a kick at the tournament yet in his first two games. He's going 7 for 7. As they say in baseball, he's batting 1,000. Dominguez. He's still batting 1,000. 12 to 3. 23 minutes gone first half.
It's a lovely kick.
Yeah, it was a good kick, but again, the option that they took down the blind side there, Zimzan, Brooke probably overcommitted himself slightly. Should have given the pass straight away to the halfback, and so Terry would have got the ball and no pressure on him.
There's the kick spinning through for Dominguez.
You see that kick? He only took 2 steps back.
Yes, he did. He's a lovely striker of the ball, Dominguez. He has an Italian mother, so he's forsaken rugby in Argentina, claimed his birthright to represent Italy at the World Cup. Grant Fox kicks out. An Auckland, heavily influenced Auckland team in the New Zealand side today. A penalty here for Italy. There are 12 Aucklanders in this 15 of New Zealand today, plus Walter Little makes 13, plus Ian Jones of North Auckland, which means, with Richard Lowe from Hamilton, means there's no All Blacks south of the Fraser Tech Clubhouse in Hamilton. No South Islanders in the team today, and that, I think, may well be, I haven't got all the books here with me, but may well be the first time New Zealand's gone into a test match without a South Islander. Somebody will do that research with all the
Well, I think Richard Lowe is actually from the South Island.
True. That good enough. There he is, number 3, Richard Lowe. And that's the 3rd penalty in a row for Italy.
No, it's a scrum.
That's a scrum. Oh, I see.
They just lost the ball.
Franciscato. Nice passer of the ball. Away to Bonomi. Dominguez. Chipping out for Kutita. But Kutita ruled ahead, and I think that on a hairline decision the referee was correct again. Kutita looked to be just getting a flying start. Out on the left wing. He's very fast.
It was a good chip, though. That's the sort of chip New Zealand should use. That lovely little chip over the top from centre.
Italy have been down here for most of the last 10 minutes. 12-3. Well caught. Cecchinato. Alan Wetton. Good strong burst by Alan Wetton. They're 5 metres out. Can they turn the ball over? Richard Lowe trying to make it available. Hewitt finds Fox. Fox, big swinging pass to right. Flicks it to Ingamala, who gathers it in one hand. He's got Innes outside. Try for Craig Innes.
Yes, it was a good try. Good build-up. Good little chip kick by the halfback, Jason. Good chip kick. Good pressure on the ball as well. And, running down the sideline. A lot of pressure on. Quick ball back. And even though the ball went to ground, it was finished off very well.
Here's the last stages of it again. Richard Lowe got it, made a little charge just to complete the setup. There were sort of Italian hands coming in at it. Hewitt made it clear. Fox threw the big one out over a lot of heads. Right, flicked it on one-handed pickup by Tuigamala. And look how Innes doubled around behind him. Paolo Bakari made the pass, the tackle. There's the pass. And in goes Craig Innes. His 6th try in Test rugby.
Just for confidence, I'd love to have seen Tuigamala have a few push-offs and go himself. But he did the right thing.
The only criticism I've got of Tuigamala is that he always uses that one hand, the ball one hand. He never carries it in 2 hands. And if anything, he'd be a better player if he did carry the ball in 2 hands.
Yes, that's true too.
That one's gone wide from Grant Fox. It's 16 points to 3. 27 minutes gone, first half.
Talking about the one-arm paper hangers, Wayne, yesterday, every time Ireland picked it up, the whole of their back row put it under one arm and went into it. No wonder they lost so much ball and couldn't distribute it.
There's the last stages. Tuigamala on to Innes. Try for New Zealand. That's their 2nd try today. 16-3. Big crowd packed in. Lovely day. Lots of New Zealand supporters here. We hope you're enjoying this live telecast coming to you through One World of Sport from Television New Zealand, going out through the European Sports Network today, to our friends in North America at TSN in Canada, South African Broadcasting Corporation, all the Pacific Islands. We welcome you, of course, Sky TV in New Zealand and Television New Zealand. New Zealand are through to the quarterfinals of the Rugby World Cup. Good catch by Giambattista Crocci. The Italians mauling it. Franciscato. Bonomi. That high ball again. Terry Wright coming forward. Zinzan Brook went in ahead of him.
The Italians aren't winning that much ball. They aren't winning the quantity of ball that the All Blacks are winning, but what ball they are getting, they're using it quite well.
Fox from defensive position.
There's some good players in this Italian side. Favara and Crocci, as we mentioned before, at line-out time. I think that Franciscato is the best halfback probably in the whole tournament, the way he's getting it away. And a lovely run against USA where he had that run down the blind side, beat 3 guys with a beautiful step. A lovely try, good player. Perhaps we could see Kudata too. He's another lovely runner on the left wing. Get some chances today because they seem to be positive in their approach, Italy.
Big kick, lovely kick.
That really takes the pressure off the Italians.
He's not having trouble with that ball.
I think talking about the ball, a lot of people have talked about how badly the ball's been made, but I think over here in Europe, France, Italy, they use nothing but these white balls, and I think they get pretty used to it.
Fitzpatrick throws. Ian Jones high. No Michael Jones today. Remember, this is the first of the Sunday matches New Zealand is scheduled to play, so no Michael Jones today. That's Ian Jones, number 4. And a bit of a tussle over towards the sideline. And 2 players being called out. John Kerwin. There's an Italian player on the deck. So I'm not quite sure. I didn't see anything happen there. This is Giambattista Croci. The referee away from this picture is talking to 2 players. John Kerwin is one of them.
He gave a warning to the 2 All Blacks there. Then the front, he was having a crack, I think, of Fitzpatrick coming in. Wants him to play football. Franciscato was saying, watch them, watch them.
Now Kerwin's been given a run. That's a good way to show what he's capable of. Hewitt into Brook. Brook dummies, holds on. Franciscato got across to the tackle. That's a nice breakout. Sign hanging over the fence there. Buck Shelford, Kia Kaha, that's one you'll approve of over the back there.
Yeah, well, it's a pity there's not a few more, but we're only looking at one stand. There's probably a few more up behind us because there are a lot of Kiwis in the stand we're in. You never know, there might be a few big bring back Buck signs as well.
I would not be surprised. Croci. Pavetta, the ball is lost but didn't go forward. Franciscato. A drop kick attempt by Dominguez. I think it hit somebody's hand. I thought I heard it hit someone's hand. A very good kick by Diego Dominguez. Hasn't missed a place kick at the tournament, and that wasn't far away.
He didn't stop much either, did he? Almost on the run, just whack. That's good skill when you can do it as quickly as that, hand to foot.
Walter Little, Fox, a little bit of a hospital pass there to Inga, the winger, number 11. Here come the Italians. Lost forward.
New Zealand are starting to get into making a few unforced errors. You know, when your pressure's on, you don't send the ball backwards. You take it on or take it to the sideline or put it out and start again. And I think Walter should have actually put that ball straight back out.
Or set it up, Buck, rather than passing it back to someone behind him.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that at this present time, you know, the last 15 minutes, I think the Italians have really got their tails up.
Yeah, they
They're
have.
playing very good.
Yeah, they are. They're playing well. There's a look in at Grant Fox. Bit of a shake of the head perhaps indicates that he thinks that things aren't going as well either. There's that piece of play. Well, Walter Little passed to Fox. Fox to midfield, and there it went sort of all wrong for New Zealand. Gaetaniella was through close. And look at this, a lot of big swarming blue shirts there, but the flank of Bottichiari lost it forward. But however, it's an Italian put in as the game restarts. 6 minutes to go till half-time. Franciscato. There's another one of those high kicks for Terry Wright. But Venturi, Edgardo Venturi, is called offside in front of the kick. They're putting a bit of heat on Terry Wright.
Yes, they aren't, though, because if they're going to get in front of the ball all the time, it's just that lack of discipline that Buck talked about earlier on. They're losing all the advantage. They're in a good position here. They've got to translate it into points. And that means they've just got to stay on side. He's no fool, Fitzgerald.
There's a lot of pressure on these scrums.
Yes, we're having the scrumming period. They're having little goes in there now.
Crafty little Jason Hewitt saw the referee over the other side and plonked it down his own side. Now that's just more down the middle. The crowd over there objected to it. Fox putting a high one up from behind his 22. Ingo goes in and collides with Giovanelli, number 7. Hewitt taking it forward. The black forwards go over the top.
Certain times of the game, the All Blacks aren't going right past the ball. They're actually only going to the ball and they're stopping. They've got to start smacking a few of the Italian players out of the way.
Stepping over the ball and driving right through them.
That's right, Earl.
Couldn't agree more.
And then that gives young Hewitt a good platform, good free ball, and he can get it out to Fox.
And it cuts down that sort of, you know, the panicky bits too. It's good ball, as you say.
Brook off the back here. Italian defence is holding firm in midfield. That was taken full ground. Fox is not. No, this is Fox here. Fox a long pass. This is a good one. Kerwin. Walter Little running on support. Spilled forward. Kotita. Francescano.
Was that a lovely sleight of hand? Kotita to his fullback Bakari.
I think that's the second ball Walter's lost forward in a tackle, and possibly he's looking for a pass in a 50-50 situation, and he should basically just holding to his body, turning and presenting the ball on the ground for the forwards.
Near the touchline, near the 22. 16-3, Rugby World Cup, Pool 1, the last appearance in the pool for these two teams. New Zealand will go on to the quarterfinals. Massimo Bonomi brought into the team as the fly half today. Bonomi was the player that helped the Italian team through the Rugby World Cup qualifying rounds. They played a quadrangular tournament in the north of Italy against Romania, the Netherlands and Spain. He was the fly half right through that series. Dominguez came in for the first 2 games here. Fitzpatrick throws, palm by Brook. Pavetta gets Hewitt.
And like all good hookers, so he should, at least once in the game. Coming off the front, getting into him.
The All Blacks have, over the last couple of minutes, just gone off, last 10 minutes, they've gone off the boil. Italy's been putting a lot of pressure on them, and I think they've got to get a bit more rhythm. I don't think the ball has really been through the All Black backline in the last 10 minutes.
No, that's right. Kerry Fitzgerald has just sent the man off the field, but not for any disciplinary reasons. The man that came on the tracksuit with the bucket and the sponge. He wants the game to continue. I think he pricked it. Giancarlo Pavetta wasn't too badly hurt. Francescano, that's the high ball. Kerwin waiting. Kerwin. Guataniello gets in this. Walter Little is caught by Francescano.
I'm afraid the crowd aren't as knowledgeable as Mr. Fitzgerald. They dive straight in and wouldn't let him play the ball.
Fox sidesteps a player who wasn't back 10 metres into Zinzan Brook.
Gosh, he never punched. They weren't low enough. He was standing upright.
No, that's right.
That.
A lot of the players are running around with their heads up in the air instead of getting their body positions down.
Okay, there's a penalty there for the Italian players not retiring 10 metres, and he's calling 10 again. Fox is going to steady up. Well, no, he's going to go for the attacking kick, giving it lots of air. Carter is coming through to be under it. Bakari. Excellent kick by Paolo Bakari. Lovely kick by the winger turned fullback, the same as New Zealand's Terry Wright. Bakari. 20 years of age. Well, Pavetta here, the captain today, will be pretty happy the way the Italians have competed in the last 20 minutes and the whole spell. New Zealand began with a blitzkrieg beginning, raced out to 12-0 after 14 minutes. Bonomi gets the pass. Little makes the tackle. The Italians have it again. Giovanelli. Francescato. Cutita, that's Massimo Cutita, the big burly prop. Spinning out wide. Oh, Zinzanbrook took Dominguez in a head high. There's a lot of booing going on and a bit of a tussle over to the left, but the result will be a penalty to Italy. The crowd are being a bit silly. They're chanting off.
If it wasn't a head-high tackle there, he probably would have gone in.
Yeah, I suppose there might have been a case for a consideration of a penalty try, it being law 26 of foul play. Here comes the banjo, as we call it, from Zinzanbrook. There's the referee's decision.
Well, what a beautiful build-up. That was great play by Italy. That's as good as we've seen right throughout the whole of the tournament. That was a tremendous setup. They really punched forward, put the ball back cleanly and clearly, and kept the continuity going. And in the end, they had 4 men on 2, and as we've just said, in a way, somehow or other, Zinzanbrook had to stop. Hopefully, though, not illegally.
I think it's an area which, in New Zealand, you know, previous years to this year, we saw a lot of that from New Zealand, but we haven't seen it in the last couple of weeks.
I think it's because the referees, though, too, are, you know, cutting down the amount of rucking we can do.
Right on half-time, Dominguez kicks. That's his first miss from a place kick at the Rugby World Cup. Diego Dominguez, the man they once considered to be the successor to Hugo Porta in Argentinian rugby. 16-3, there's a few more seconds to play. It's been about 42 minutes of running time since the kickoff. Fox, right on the half-time whistle. The player without a number is Favaro, Roberto Favaro, but he's certainly not anonymous about the field. Back to Fox. Into touch. Might be half time here. The referee seems to have lost his time, and he's checked with Derek Bevan on the sideline. Yes, Derek Bevan says time's up, and so that's half time. New Zealand had 2 tries to Brook, 1 to Ennis. The rest came from Grant Fox, the penalty by Dominguez. At half-time at Leicester, New Zealand leading Italy by 16-3. Well, we're carrying on through the half-time break. And Earl Curtin, your impressions of the first 40 minutes?
Well, I think that they started very well, New Zealand did, and had Italy in, you know, a lot of trouble, organisational as well as just sheer pressure belting into them. But we've got a lot more upright in the latter part of it. We're not getting the same ball. We're having more trouble at line-out time against Favora and Croce. And this other chap, Bonomi, for Italy, is putting up big booming kicks from first 5-8 and basically keeping the pressure on the All Blacks. Very, very tough for them to come back, but they've got to get back to the old New Zealand style, as we said before, getting body position low, driving it over rucks and mauls and clearing the ball quickly. I think it's because referees have not allowed them to ruck at all in this tournament, and consequently they've almost taken it out of the New Zealand repertoire, which is tragedy.
Wayne Shelford?
I think the Italian side have played well in this half, and they're unlucky not to be on the board by more points. Unlucky not to have scored a couple of tries, but that's the way it goes. If going like this, you know, they will have a very good game, and I think, you know, the last time New Zealand did play Italy, they lost a lot of, you know, mana. You know, they really did get a hiding from New Zealand, and I think they're playing for that as well.
There they are, the Italian team with little Ivan Francescato. We haven't seen any running from him, Earl. He's got lovely feet, hasn't he?
No, but he's just been setting it up because he's got that big boy outside him, as I mentioned, who's been powering him into the air, the kicks. He'll go yet. I don't think you'll be able to keep a Latin down, will you? At some stage, if that scrum holds, the Italian scrum in the second half, you'll find he'll have a dart too. And that'll be exciting, particularly if he goes the same side as Cutita and feeds him another very good Italian back.
Marcello Cutita is the player on the left wing. As we look back from the city of Leicester, we're very close to the town centre. If we look the other way, we can see the Filbert Road, ground of the Leicester City Football Club. Bit of a disappointment here in the city last night. That they went down 2-0 to Newcastle in the soccer. There's the scorecard at the end of the first half. Fox 2 penalties and a conversion, taking him past that 500 test points. Zinzanbrook and Innes the try scorers. Dominguez a penalty for Italy, and there are thousands of New Zealand supporters here today. And for the New Zealanders watching from home, it's time to say we know those people. But I think we're still waiting for this New Zealand team to hit their straps here at the World Cup.
Yes, we want to see back play now. We want to see them actually move the ball. They're in a dual coach situation, and I think most of us in New Zealand would be delighted if we actually saw them move the ball move through the back line with a bit of fluidity and a wee bit of penetration too. That's the key word.
The All Blacks have been playing well, but sort of thing is the ball hasn't been going through the hands cleanly. It's the passes are still on a lot of passes are on the hip. If we're going to set up second phase play, midfield, it's got to be, turned, quick ball over the top and used straight away. Back left, go back to the open or hit back towards the blind. We're just going to speed up our game. We're just a little bit too slow at the moment.
The captain.
Isaac Boss has made Ireland squad. That's how bad Ireland are.
The loose head.
He's been amazing, I think.
Can we talk rugby?
The tight head.
Why do you know about the nudists in the Munich English Gardens?
The looker.
Which is a nice double meaning in this sport.
Too right.
And when it comes to reporting Rugby World Cup.
These are the guys that are going to be taking your hopes, your dreams.
Mills will be watching that and he'll be going,
They
get pretty personal, yeah. Let's play rugby league.
The crowd goes wild. Weeknight 6:30. Prime.
Celebrate television's most glamorous night.
You're loving it? I'm loving it.
The 63rd Primetime Emmy Awards highlights Sunday on Vibe.
And the Emmy goes to...
The big stars of the small screen take centre stage.
I love this job.
Thank you so much. You're unbelievable.
Jane Lynch hosts a stellar event honouring television's elite.
This is outlandish.
The 63rd Primetime Emmy Awards highlights Sunday on Vibe, sponsored by Sunsilk.
Let's play.
Sachin Tendulkar is in the mood.
That is one for Tate. Peter Siddle's got the big one.
What a catch this is.
Ryder goes to a half century.
Got it! Chennai Super Kings are winners of the Champions League.
The champions from around the world will battle for the Nokia Champions League T20.
Sky Sports.
The battled face of Richard Lowe, one of the New Zealand team, contemplating things during the half-time break. New Zealand leading at Welford Road in Leicester by 16-3 over Italy. New Zealand are through to the quarter-finals. They beat England by 18-12 and USA by 46-6. The last time they played Italy, they beat them by 70-6, which was a world record for a margin in a full test match. So New Zealand have either got to get cracking to get close to that, or the Italian rugby has really surged upwards since '87. I think the latter is probably the case. As we look in at Alessandro Bottacciari, one of the Italian forwards, Zinzanbrook, who scored the day's first try after just a minute and a half. As we get ready for the beginning of the second 40 minutes, New Zealand to play left to right in the second half. Massimo Bonomi to begin the second period of play with a deep kick. This time the Italians are into the sun here at Welford Road Ground in Leicester, home of the Leicester Tigers. And this is straight down to Polo Vakari, out to Bonomi, beats Carter. Good thump, Fox is back. So he opened the second spell with a kicking contest. And that time Bonomi can't stop the ball from the opposite number 10 from New Zealand, flying across the touchline. Okay, calling in Wayne Shelford. First of all, what are you hoping for in the second 40 minutes here, Wayne, especially from maybe the New Zealand point of view?
Well, I'm expecting the New Zealanders to really pick the pace of the game up and win some real quick second phase play.
Francescato kicks the touch. Earl Curtin, another former All Black with us. Earl, what do you feel? Do you think the Italians are going to compete here at the same level they did in the first half?
Oh, yes, I do, and I congratulate them on the effort till now. I mean, they should be proud of themselves. They've played particularly well. Their concept of the game has been good too. They've been positive right through. Let's hope they score a try too as just reward.
Hewitt, high to Fox. Little gets through. He loves playing with Craig Innes, his great mate out there in the centres. Couldn't quite hit off the combination there. In goes Fitzpatrick, trying to ruck the ball clear. Hewitt, Walter Little, bouncing end over end. And a good game there by Walter Little was kicked. Now that was a more authoritative piece of play by the black team.
If anything, Keith, the ball was just a bit slow. If it would come out a bit quicker, you know, we'd have picked those Italians up and drove them back. We could have got the ball quicker. We could have gone the same way the ball actually originally started going.
It's Carter got outside Walter Little's shoulder then to continue it on. We talked about not having a South Islander in it. Rather controversial over here with the press. They couldn't understand how Henderson wasn't getting a run in this game in particular, knowing his fine form for Otago in the last couple of weeks.
It's 5 metres out from the Italian line. It's going to be scratched back by the New Zealand front rowers. Away from Hewitt to Fox, looking for Carter. Fumble! Claimed by Bottigiari. Pavetta, the captain, battling up to the 22. Here are the Italians competing bravely again. Bonomi. Good save. Fumble by Carter, and Bonomi kicks them out of their own territory.
The line-out, Earl, is probably one of the critical areas for New Zealand. You know, the three big jumpers, Alan Wetton, Gary Wetton and Ian Jones, have got to get up and win some good ball for the half.
Fox gives it to Inga. Tuigamala is through. Lovely run by Tuigamala. Oh, that's a super try by Inga the winger. Inga Tuigamala.
A brilliant try, brilliant individual try, and look what happens when you actually get good ball off the line out.
Look at this from Inga Tuigamala. Several times he looked like he was going to unload it, but he hung on all the time, and down he went to the 22. Across came, oh, he's a hard man to stop. And in this mood, he was impossible to stop. Inga the winger, his second test try, a beauty.
That's what I said at the beginning of the game. I thought, and I'd seen him train too, I thought he looked particularly sharp. He was getting right back to the form that we know that he can produce. And this is obviously why he's getting a run on that wing. He'll be putting pressure on John Timu.
Just looking at his form out there, if anything, he's moving like a Big Mac truck more than Inga the winger.
Yes. Or as the French called him, they didn't like meeting him at all. They called him the Big Mac Black Bus.
Yeah, until he was lost a bit of weight there, he was looking like a Big Mac. But lovely try by Tuigamala. Applause still ringing around the ground. One of the Italians is leaving the field as well. Fox with the conversion. Lovely goal. Now, I wonder if that sets the mood for the second half. New Zealand 22, Italy 3. New player coming onto the field for the Italian team, and that's Grespan. So Giovanni Grespan on for Franco Perpetucurti.
Yes, he had to be a prop for the size of him.
Fox. Big kick by Fox. I think that try might have put New Zealand in a better humour to face this second half.
Yes, but it's line-outs where we've got to win. We've got to win at 2 and 4.
Palm down there by Cecchinato. Francescato, the high kick. Who's waiting? Well, it went forward from Giovanelli.
Yes, he just didn't quite look at it long enough.
So there's the big new man, Grespan, onto the field.
But again, getting beaten at the end of the line-out. You know, Alan Wetton has lost a lot of mobility, but you'd still expect him to be winning that ball at the end, and he hasn't been doing the last couple of games.
Nice kick through by Hewitt. Paulo Bakari. Oh, Bakari didn't like the way he was pushed into the fence, and so threw the ball and hit Hewitt on the head.
Well, at least it was a good throw.
Paulo Bakari.
You do well playing darts in this country.
He's got a great haircut too, hasn't he? One of those that keep on coming out. They go all over the top. The bird's nest, as they call it. And a bit of red hair there. Well, there's a bit of Irish as well as Italian. What an incredible mixture. No wonder he's fiery.
Paulo Bakari, number 15. Hewitt off to Fitzpatrick. That's a good crunching, but a good tackle on him. Jones, Hewitt, Fox. Innes through. Carter meets Giovanelli. Down they go at the 22. McDowell, Fox, turning the ball over to Innes. Yeah. People diving in all over the place there.
The Italians got there, though.
Venturi, the veteran player. Wright is waiting. They're getting back behind Wright. He might try to open it up. Kicks it down the line, and the big prop forward, Kutita's going to chug back and get it. Massimo Kutita. Paulo Bakari. The man with a haircut that Earl Curtin says keeps on coming.
Yes, he went for discretion, being the better part of valor there. He had two men out here, and he almost looked to have a run. Being a winger, he may have, but he belted it back. But a lot of talent. Look at his age, only 20.
He's been the big find in the backs for the Italians this year. Made a big start on the tour of Namibia, where they lost both internationals, incidentally. 7 minutes, second half. McDowell holding. Now Alan Wetton with the ball in the maul. Rolling it away, Richard Lowe. So here's the tough work of New Zealand forward pack. Good tackle on McDowell. Not often you see that coming back. Now the backs. Little. Kevin crashing the midfield. Caught by Gaetaniello. Inga Tuigamala. It's rolled away from him. Referee is playing for advantage. Lost forward.
You watch that area there. Tuigamala again tried to catch the ball with one hand. And even though the ball was slightly behind him, he's got to try and get two hands on it. But the Italians are tackling very, very well.
Boy, they've quickened it up, haven't they? They're piling into the tackles. They're almost as good as Western Samoa, and they have the reputation for being far and away the heaviest tacklers in the whole of these last 2 weeks.
It's not very often you see Steve McDowell picked up and thrown back by a little wing. But if we go back a couple of minutes to where the All Blacks had a phase going down the field, Craig Innes broke through. He looked for the support on the inside, but it was actually outside he had the support and the actual room.
Is that running of lines that all you guys do up there round about that bridge, where you start looking for the loosies inside?
Well, you've got to look on the outside as well.
Inga Tuigamala. Did it go forward? I don't think it did. Oh, well, referee Fitzgerald says it did go forward. Scrum for Italy.
Yes, the great old adage was always to cut in, cut out when you made that space, and you always look for the pace.
Franciscato in. Fed by Cecchinato. Again, Franciscato kicks. Everybody is safely onside. Knock on there. 22-3. New Zealand are leading.
I'd like to see the New Zealand use this ball and possibly, bring in a double miss, bring Terry right outside JK and see what can happen from there. The Italian fullback standing a long way back.
Walter Little, it's certainly a big pass. Carried through. Oh, it's rolled away from Innes. Advantage playing for Italy.
They must have read my mind, Earl.
That's what they've got to do. I mean, there's no point in playing the man as a fullback if you're not going to use him.
Good idea that time from New Zealand. Well, what can the Italians do? It's a lovely ground to run on.
It was nice to see the ball go straight to Walter Little to move that as well, rather than it coming from Grant Fox, because it's less predictable.
Inga Tuigamala waiting. Taken by Gaetaniello. Dominguez using his soccer skills. Penalty, for Italy. There's a player injured there. It's Gaetaniello, I think. Francescato here will probably...
And Marcata's down too. You got a whack across the bridge of the nose.
So in the centre, it's Marcata down. The referee didn't say what that penalty was for.
One of the big things in the game and the World Cup I've seen this year is the ability of the defensive lines to come up so quickly. It's amazing. They're just coming up and putting every team under, no matter who it is. They're all coming up so quick, and it really puts into play a lot of areas of the attack where it's basically stopping the attack before they get the advantage lines.
Yes, they're almost using their defensive lines as a method of attack by grabbing the ball back, smacking it loose, and then picking it up again.
So Diego Dominguez, who plays for Milan with David Campisi, champion club of Italy. No mistake. Second penalty for Dominguez. 12 minutes second half. 22-6 to New Zealand. From here, the New Zealand team will fly to France. The two quarterfinals, one in Paris next Saturday and one in Lille next Sunday. Even though this game hasn't finished, we know already that New Zealand are the winners of the group because they have at least 2 wins so far, and they've beaten England, who have also 2 wins. So New Zealand will play in Lille. They don't know their opponents yet. Alan Wetton. Here it comes again to the backs. Fox, little run, in pass, Tuigamala. Taken by Cecchinato. Carter. It's on the Italian side, I think. No, there's Hewitt digging deep. Somebody went over the top for Italy. So back go the Italians. Some hard-working forwards there. Yeah, it's going to be a shot, says Gary Wetton, giving New Zealand a bit of stick.
Again, not completely happy with the way they went into those rucks and walls. Still too high. Guys standing up and turning their backs instead of racing in and punching on.
If you look at the, how the second maul was actually, or ruck was actually developed, there was Mark Carter went off by himself, and he really did get isolated. It took a while for a big group of the players to get to him. And if they would have been a little bit earlier, they would have got the ball cleaner. But that's what happens when you probably go off once or twice.
Time gone, 14 minutes second half. Still a long way to go. The flags are waving in the stands. Another Fox penalty, 25 points to 6. I heard one of the players walk up to Kerry Fitzgerald and ask him the score, and having a look around the ground, there's no scoreboard here at Welford Road, so the players, some of them might have, in the flurry of events, have forgotten the score. He said 22 to 6. It's just been changed to 25 to 6 with that kick by Fox. Bonomi kicks out. Fox has it covered. He's outside his line now, so he has to run forward and kick. Sends it up to halfway.
He was getting a couple of calls then, was Fox. He's getting different moves, one from Innes and obviously from John Kerwin. Made him look up and he got in between the two calls.
Pavetta throws near halfway. That was sort of thrown down the Italian side. Pochi got high. back to Francescato. Bonomi's kicked a lot today. Very high ball. Fitzpatrick wants it. It bounced away. Oh, lovely! Kutita! Marcello Kutita, goalpost looming. The Italians, they hit the ball. The referee went and blew it for the scrum. The Italian ball, they might have scored there.
That was a bit early. He's gone very well there today, Fitzgerald.
And Kutita chasing up the high kick, which New Zealand let bounce. Fitzpatrick was under it, but it seemed to just drift away from him, and it hit the deck, and then it was anybody's. Good following through by Bottigiari and Marcello Kutita.
It's not the first time we've actually seen the ball being put up by Bonomo, and nobody's actually called for it. Nobody's put their body on the line to actually go up and get it. But, all credit to the Italians. They actually got the ball back in the end and drove right down between the All Blacks tram lines, and I've got a scrum. Hopefully they can actually keep the scrum and do something off it.
Francescato, the brilliant runner, number 9. Will he let it go? Will he have a go himself? Let's have a look. Francescato could be on for the drop kick. Bonomi changes mind, running to the left. Dominguez. Kutita. Marcello Kutita. Look at that crowd. Look at the hugs and the kisses for Marcello Kutita, the flying left winger. A thunderous ovation around the ground as we look again at Bonomi, the change of direction. He ran hard and straight, gave it to Dominguez. Dominguez pushed the attack forward in a very strong manner for such a little bloke. Then he got his inside pass, and Kutita, he knows what to do. The try is down, Marcello Kutita.
Oh, that was a good try. They've deserved it too. They've played particularly well and been very, very positive. And they're looking a lot better side than their form had suggested up until now. And it was interesting that Innocenti, their manager, said before the game started they were looking to play a big one, and they were delighted that they were playing here against the All Blacks, and they were going to give it heaps. Haven't they just done that?
Here it is again, Wayne.
Absolute brilliant try, and a great deception by actually hitting right then changing direction. Very unlucky, but he got the pass up. Great try. I think Kutita likes scoring against the New Zealand sides.
Dominguez with the kick.
What a great little kick.
What a great little patch of play for Italy. 25-12, just a 13-point gap for the mighty All Blacks. 70 minutes gone, second half.
Actually, when he kicked that on our microphone, because the referee was standing near him, you could hear him grunt like Monica Seles, the tennis player.
Boom.
He says, yeah.
So Dominguez, remarkable goal-kicking record, 25 points to 12. So, what will New Zealand do in reply? Straight away they're penalised. Coming through on the man instead of the ball. Must go up, compete for the ball at the catch.
Just looking at that try again, Keith, the platform they set in the scrum, to hold the All Blacks, to stop the All Blacks from pushing them, was very, very good, and they got the ball cleanly back out of their scrum with no pressure on them whatsoever. And I look at the scrum, whenever a try gets scored like that, it's got to come back to the scrum that it's held and it's done its job correctly.
And also before that, Wayne, the high kick from Bonomi, which was let to bounce and led to the bit of a shambolic piece of play, which saw it run down there under the goal mouth. The Italians are going well here.
I think the Italians, scoring a try against the All Blacks in the World Cup has made their day. It's probably made their tournament.
Yes, indeed. They were hoping for big things today, and they've certainly produced a fine performance. And all this after they conceded 12 points in the first 15 minutes. Giancarlo Pavetta.
Still not getting, New Zealand still aren't getting ball at the end of the line-out.
Bonomi. This time the high spinning ball behind Wright. Oh, lovely catch by Terry Wright. Had to run fully 30 metres to pull that one out of the sky, and then a good save. Old Terry was looking a bit battle-scarred after the last game. A couple of scratches across his face. Still the signs of a black eye there. Plus there's the rib cage a bit bruised. Francescano, look out for what he can do. A lot of things with his feet, this man. Kotita covered by Wetton and Fitzpatrick. Buried Kotita over the sideline. Well, he'll be a bit slow to get up, a bit sore after that one, Marcello Kotita. This is his 20th cap for Italy. He also plays at Milan with David Campisi. That one's pulled in nicely by Brook. Hewitt. Fox. Finding Kerwin. Finding McDowell. McDowell goes back. Giovanni Grespan. A ferocious tackle on McDowell. And Italy get the ball. They're going forward with that tackle by the replacement player, Giovanni Grespan.
They're trying to do a lot of things. The All Blacks are trying to do things, but they just can't make them work at the moment.
That's Giovanelli, number 7.
Kekanato's winning a lot of ball at the end of the line-out too, isn't he, against Wetton? They're formidable in the line-out. They're jumping very well.
Ten-metre mark, New Zealand. Fox. That is not a good one from Fox. Over towards Inga Tuigamala. He got the bounce. Terry Wright put it back between his legs. Carter's got it. Hewitt, away to Fox. Paolo Bakari waits right on the 22. Then he just takes a step back and gives it an almighty thump. Well, anything the All Blacks can send to the Italians, they're sending it back. Here's Inga Tuigamala. There were players ahead of the kick, of course, by Bakari. Gary Wetton must be a bit disturbed at the way recent trend of events.
Why didn't the referee let the big lad go then?
Well, I actually thought that if he would have let it go, the All Blacks would have got the advantage.
Yes, they were going to achieve it. I think in the end, because Tuigamala was spinning around and breaking out of tackles left, right and centre.
22 now, good attacking position for New Zealand. Brook pushes forward, makes 10. Black ball again. Hewitt. Innes. Kerwin meets Kotita. Oh, lovely pass by Kerwin. And Jason Hewitt joins that select band of players who score on their test debut. And he gets a boot presented to him to mark the occasion. That's his own. And that was the result of a nice double round and a lovely pass from John Kerwin, 29-12. Look at the pass from Kerwin. He gets through the tackle, rolls his arms ahead of the tacklers, and away goes Hewitt. His try on debut. Joins a club. Earl Curtin, you're a member of that club. You got 2 on your test debut, and Jason Hewitt's opened with his first.
I'd be delighted with that. He double round. He's been playing. He's played well, and some of the ball that he's had to deal with hasn't been particularly clean. But again, a lovely step back inside by Kerwin. They say he can't pass. Well, there wasn't much wrong with that. Imagine that being a centre, because in effect that's what he was doing there, playing centre and setting up the outside. I'd love to see the lad have a big go at centre, and Innes coming into second 5/8 at some stage too.
It was a good try, and I think the All Blacks needed that one bit of a booster, a bit of morale booster to pick them up for the last 15 minutes.
Lovely kick from Grant Fox, 31 points to 12. Here it is again. Hewitt ran hard behind the passes. Kerwin got it from Innes, pushed his hands ahead of the tackle, rolled it further out to his right. Hewitt had made a big run around them. He scored it with Innes outside him.
Not the straightest line we're looking at this present time, is it, Jill?
We're looking right down
the dog's hind leg there.
Ian Jones looking right down the halfway line that time. It definitely wasn't a straight line up from both sides. Hewitt. Oh, they're way offside there, surely. Yeah, the referee's going to ping them for that if the advantage doesn't run New Zealand's way. They were way past the offside line.
Still like to have seen him let it go, though, with that ruck set up.
There's an Italian player down. The New Zealand team tapped. So on their mark, Hewitt is placing the ball for a tap move. Fox has it now. It's going to be the high one. Okay, another high and hopeful. Paolo Bakari, good catch. Courageous fullback today. His first test match as a fullback. His others have been as a winger. 20 years of age, Paolo Bakari. Away to Dominguez for the clearance.
Well, everyone in New Zealand would love to see Inga the winger come in now into the back line with a fair bit of pace on and have another lovely swerving run. Off your picture, the New Zealand back line lining up very deeply, though. Probably too deep.
Playing by Cecchinato. Francescato, Bonomi. A charge down. Venturi kicks it out. Edgardo Venturi, a bit of a veteran, coming in on the right wing. He made his test debut back in '83.
Well, Favoro and Croce in the lineouts, and this chap Swords, who played for the USA, I think they're probably three of the best in the business.
Three good locks there. There's Gary Wetton palming away to Fox. Oh, it went to Igamala, but it went to open country. Now Innes is in trouble. And Italy will win this one. Botticelli. Although as Wetton got the ball now. There's two little games here. These guys have got the ball. The others have to arrive and get it.
Yeah, Gary Wetton wouldn't release the ball. He was the only one there by himself and wouldn't release the ball, and penalty to the Italians. If anything, if the Italians would have won it, they probably could have used it well.
Well, the Italians are going for goal this late stage of the game.
10 minutes to play. 31-12 at the moment. Lovely kick again by Dominguez. It's 31-15. My word, he can kick the ball, this guy. Just a little bloke. And he thumps it hard. And Diego Dominguez, in his 7th cap for Italy, closes the gap to 31-15. Fox to restart for New Zealand. We're inside the last 10 minutes. Up goes Gary Wetton. I think this is probably a good indication of how the minnows of World Rugby have closed the gap on some of the big guns. Kerwin, Innes. Look how the Italians have got across there. Even Polo Baccari, the very good fullback, got across there, came up, took the tackle. These guys have had a splendid day today, the Italian team. And now Terry Wright is receiving some attention. The Italians have got this one. Good play by Giovanelli. Bonomi. Terry Wright's receiving attention. There's nobody back there. Kutita coming through and Gaetaniello. Lost forward. Advantage will apply. Nope. Knock on ruled straight away by referee Kerry Fitzgerald from Australia.
Again, no one wanted to take the ball in the full there.
Yeah, that's right. If anything, it would have been a good opportunity for the Italians to use the ball. And if they could have used it with the fullback in, we had no covering fullback then.
So Terry Wright is off the field for New Zealand. It'll be a chance for Shane Philpott to play in a test match. Fox has put an attacking kick through. Walter Little's gone hard for it. The bounce has gone to Zinzanbrook. At halfway, big pass in. Again, the one-handed catch by Tuigamala, but he's taken it in well. Low and Alan Wetton. And now McDowell. It's right on halfway. My word, Italy are working hard in there. They're competing very vigorously. Players going over the top. A penalty to New Zealand at halfway. Shane Philpott itching to get on, the Canterbury and Burnside club player. Itching to get on for a run in the World Cup and a test appearance. 8 minutes to play.
Tekanata has been a star, I think, too, for Italy. He's won the ball at the back. His mobility has been tremendous. He's played particularly well. So he didn't sort of strike so much when playing against US of A, in the game that we all watched on television, but he's been really outstanding, I think, today at the end of the line-out.
Cecchinato.
I saw Innocenti and he told me it was Kekanato.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. Gary Wetton. Must be a bit of pronunciation from town to town. A good Italian friend of mine, Vittorio Minari, told me it was Cecchinato.
Who's this Vittorio Minari?
He's the Italian commentator, little guy. Anyway, let's not worry about it.
Born in England.
Hewitt. Away to Fox. Kerwin probing for the gaps. The Italian defence is across.
Dare I say it, he wasn't on the right lines, though.
Now, can they move this one again, the New Zealanders? 6 minutes to go. Where is that ball?
Well, Joe's Italy won it back there. New Zealand lost the ball again. She's getting willing in there, though, isn't it, man? She's getting a bit crotchy.
Again, New Zealand have got to get that ball back in the mauls, right to the back of the maul, so they can actually wheel off and have a go at them.
Hello, the referee on the other side, Mr. Bevan, has seen something untoward there, and he's pointing at Mr. Fitzgerald, who's now out of your picture, running across to find out what he has to say.
So way across on the far side. So here's Kerry Fitzgerald coming back. Bit of a to-do back in that previous incident. And Fitzpatrick is penalised. Francescano away to Bonomi. Another big deep kick from Bonomi. Here's Shane Philpott. Can't quite get his hands on the ball and play for a touch as a test player. But another telling drive by Massimo Bonomi. (31-15). All those who predicted big winning margins for New Zealand are going to be well out here. This has been a fine effort by Italy.
Can Italy win New Zealand's ball?
Ian Jones has done the best of New Zealand's line-out forwards. Westman and Fitzpatrick having a little tussle at the top there of the maul. Alan Wetton away to Zinzanbrook. Richard Lowe in attendance. Hewitt. Fox. Fumble. Kicked away by Bonomi. Bonomi! What a superb reward for Massimo Bonomi. What a marvellous moment for Italian rugby. It was a fumble by Grant Fox, number 10. You see him there in the foreground. He fumbled it. Bonomi onto it like a shot. It was kicked by Dominguez, then kicked by Bonomi. And look at this pickup out in front of the post. And he down and up and scoops it and scores it. And that's a good reward for a fine game from the Italian number 10, Massimo Bonomi. The kick from Dominguez is through. It's a 31-21 ball game and 3 minutes to play.
Well,
what a great moment.
He has played very well, as you suggested, all game. He's played particularly well, I thought. Used his brains. But what a lovely one-handed pickup too. Quite a big man. But he was going to make no mistake here. Have a look at this. One-arm pickup. Lovely.
A brilliant opportunist try, and you know, credit to the Italians. They put a lot of pressure on, and that's what you get when you put pressure on teams.
Not only that, I mean, the crowd are so excited here. There's obviously a lot of Italian restaurateurs who've taken the Sunday off. Normally they watch soccer, but they've come to rugby today.
The kick out from Grant Fox. I can sense that the crowd here think they've seen something special. This is the biggest effort by one of the little countries in the World Cup against one of the big guns. Fox now trying to find Tuigamala. He got the second try for New Zealand. Walter Little charging through. Down at the 22. It's there again for Hewitt. Out to Fox. Kerwin. Kutita goes underneath Kerwin. The two used to play together in the Italian League. Bodies everywhere. Black ball to the next scrum. Well, some of these Italian forwards have played themselves into a standstill. Here's Quacci.
I don't know, does that word El Pato or something, does that mean, probably means something like bugger or something, does it?
He's a brother of Zorro.
New Zealand 31-21. Tell you what, one more score for the Italians and the All Blacks will be very worried about the outcome of this game. A doctor on the field looking at Mark Carter.
Yes, he got a bad knock earlier on, and to be fair, I think that he's been a wee bit dizzy, a wee bit vague since.
There's Massimo Giovanelli behind him, Quacci. Some of these hard-working Italian forwards, Roberto Favaro, they have played their heart and soul out for Italian rugby today, and this will do the Italian cause a lot of good. They were, one of the England players called them cheats the other day when they conceded a lot of penalties at Twickenham. Now New Zealand have it again. Fox, a little bit of a run around. Walter Little, hard running from Little. McDowell takes the ball down, it's there. 3 minutes left in the game.
I don't see why, Will, that you know, they're getting a lot of pressure on the Italians to come up very fast. Why doesn't Fox just put the bomb up and take the pressure off them straight away? And it turns the pressure straight back on the Italians.
Before, a chip over the top. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it?
Well, the grand old man of Italian rugby, Giancarlo Pavetta, who made his debut way back in 1979, still going in 1991, leading the Italians on a sterling performance against the All Blacks. A penalty for the Italians, and you can sense that the crowd here at Welford Road in Midlands and Leicester, they have a lot of admiration for the men in blue. And Bonomi, who scored the try a moment ago, sends it spinning out of his own territory, and the Italians come up and back on attack again.
It's not bad, is it, when a guy can go through a game, and I can't remember one mistake Bonomi's made.
Well,
good,
you know,
good play by a fly half.
It's played very, very well.
40 minutes of running time approaches in the game. Alan Witten gets an uncontested catch at the back. Good run on by McDowell there, down to Fox. Now to Inga Tuigamala, running straight into Venturi. Innes trying to find space. There's Paolo Vicari again up from fullback for the tackles. Out to New Zealand. It's a 4-on-2. Has Inga got the strength to get through? Inga Tuigamala into Carter. Dumped superbly by Franciscato on the 22. Right on full time. The ball is there for Hewitt. Away to Fox. To Little. Extra man. And Zinzanbrook. That was Alan Witten. Innes. Still that defence is across there. And it's out across the touchline. And that's another fine example of the Italians getting their defence across to stop the men in black.
The Italians' heads are hanging low now. They've given their all, and they've only got a couple of minutes to go, but they got across there and really stopped that one.
Look at this number 20, one of my wee popos, just getting back there now, and he's still struggling.
That's Grespan, Giovanni Grespan, the prop. Pavetta, the grand old man, 35, I think he is. He began as a test player for Italy in 1979. Last minute of play, Franciscato. Well, I think that this will be one of the great days for Italian rugby. Bonomi off his left foot. Inga Tuigamala has it, though. He has Edgardo Venturi to beat. And he doesn't beat. No, it's Gaetaniello, who's tackled superbly all day. Penalty for Italy. Now, the last minute. Will they get really cheeky and take it and tap it and run it?
Surely they've got to. They've played that way all game. No, they've slowed it down.
Bonomi. He's going to go for position. Gary Fitzgerald looking at his watch. It must be very close to the end. I wouldn't be surprised if Italian hands go in the air at the end of the game. There they do. It's a triumph for Italy. They have played their heads off against New Zealand. They've also played their backsides off. They've given it everything. There's the scoreline. New Zealand are the winners by 31-21. But I'll bet you a lot of that applause that we hear now is for the brave Italian team who have pushed the All Blacks to such a close scoreline. It's New Zealand 31, Italy 21. Big day for Gary Witten to equal Colin Meads' test record. But I think inside his heart of hearts he'll know that they were given a game and a half by the Italian team today. Remember, 4 years ago, New Zealand thrashed these guys by 70-6. Today, they can only beat them by 10 points. That says a lot for the spirit and the fire and the commitment that Italian rugby's made in 4 years' time.
Oh, there was good football, and the Italians made it a good game. I thought the All Blacks played reasonably well. They're not quite there yet. They were slightly loose, and this crowd have given them a tremendous ovation, and so they should. Tremendous play, particularly by the two locks.